Welcome back to Savvy Charmed Life. Today you're going to see my July setup, which is all Harry Potter themed. So the first step is to use my black Marvula pen and add additional page numbers so that I can add this section of my bujo to my index. I add my numbers to the bottom left-hand and right-hand corners of each page. We are going with a Harry Potter theme for the month of July because I recently realized that Harry Potter is turning 40 on July 31st. So for our July cover page, we are going to do a Dobby themed. Harry Potter loved Dobby, and so did I. I literally bawled my eyes out in the 7th book when Dobby died. But to celebrate Dobby, for our cover page, we are going to use some socks that I just found by using canva.com, and in the elements section where you can find the clip art kind of things, I just searched for socks and found like a ton of different really cute multicolored crazy pattern socks because that was what Dobby loved, and shrink them to the right size and then just printed them on photo paper. So we are just going to cut one of each out. So I have a set of Yalis, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, stencils that I found on Amazon, and I will link it in the description box below, any supplies that I use, of course. But I'm going to be using the stencil number 2 to create a clothing line that we are going to dangle our socks from. So we're starting out by using a pencil to trace that curved line for the clothesline, and then I'm just adding some little, tie bows to the end of each side. And then we are going to trace over it with my black Marvula pen. And I also, at the end, added some little dangled pieces of string as well. Okay, now we're going to take each of those little mini socks that we cut out, and I'm just going to try to look at how I want to arrange them on the clothing line. And then I'm just going to use some double-sided tape to attach them in the order that I set them up. Now I'm going to get out a Harry Potter stencil that I believe came from Nerdy Paper Co. I think it was a freebie that I got with an order. If I can find a link to this specific stencil online, I will definitely share it. This stencil has an outline of Harry Potter, Dobby, a little snitch, and a broom. And we're going to use this little stencil throughout this spread. But for right now, we're just going to use the Harry Potter and Dobby stencil. So I'm going to start by using my Marvula pen to just outline Harry and Dobby on either side of the bottom of the page. Okay, now we're just going to use a black Crayola super tip marker to color in the outline that we did of the stencil. I really love the Crayola super tip markers, especially when coloring in A Stalogy. There is no bleeding through the page, and the ghosting is relatively limited. I love Harry and Dobby's relationship in the books. I love that you see so much more of it in the books than you do in the movies. I feel like in the movies you see Dobby in the second movie, and then you don't see him again until the very end, when he dies. So I feel like it's limited, but there's so much more, to him and Dobby's relationship that you get to see in more than, just the second and seventh book. So I found some clip art of Dobby as a free elf in the Harry Potter font online, and just took a screenshot of it and printed it using my phone memo, which is a recent purchase of mine that I got with some gift card money. So you'll see a few others that I used, printed some like clip art that I found online, and you'll see those throughout the spread. And I am going to use some month of the year stickers that I got from Oh Hello Stationery Co. So I'm just going to use the July sticker, and I'm going to attach it in the middle of this spread, on the middle of the page. So now I'm going to attach some vellum using this beautiful art print that I found on Etsy, and I purchased it and downloaded it. There were a couple of color options, but I went with this one that is kind of gold and yellow and green, which just seemed to fit with the Hufflepuff kind of colors that represent my house. And so I just printed it to the right size, and all we're going to do is we're going to close the Stalogy book and place the vellum over the top to give ourselves an outline of the size that the vellum needs to be. So I'm just going to use a pencil to outline the corners and the bottom, and then use my scissors to cut around the edge, and then open the book back up to see if it is the right size to fit, and to see if I need to make any adjustments, but it looks like it is the perfect size. So now I'm just going to use some double-sided tape to put along the inside edge of the vellum, and then I'm going to open my book and kind of move it so that it is at the right angle that'll work for me, and put to the vellum so that it is laying up with the spine of the Stalogy, and then press the double-sided tape onto the inside of the fold of the spine. This cute little waving badger sticker came from Nerdy Paper Co. So I put that in the middle of the following page, and I'm just going to write in cursive lettering, just not any fancy calligraphy, just my own cursive handwriting, the words "Hello July." And then I like writing my numbers down the center of the page so that I can put appointments on either side, so I can have more than one appointment on either side of the date. But I'm just writing the numbers 1 through 31 down the center of the page. And then I'm whiting out where I made the mistake and wrote a 9 before the 2, so I'm just whiting that out and fixing it. And then I always make sure to double check to see what day of the week the first day of the month is. So once you double check, I just go ahead and write down to the left of the numbers the days of the week that correspond to the date of the month. All right, now I'm going to use this dark yellow that I feel like looks Hufflepuff-ish. And I'm just going to use a ruler to guide where the line is, and I'm just underlining Saturday and Sunday to give myself, a differentiation of where the weekends begin. Okay, moving on, we are going to create a master to-do list page on the following page. We are going to use that little Harry Potter stencil that I showed you earlier. That is from Nerdy Paper Co. And I'm going to use the broom stencil to just outline a broom in the top left-hand corner. And then I'm going to use a dark brown super tip Crayola marker to color in the broom. So next I'm getting out some more of my Nerdy Paper Co. stickers. So I have these cute little Hufflepuff blonde girl with glasses flying on a broom. I'm going to put that in the bottom right hand corner of the page. And then I have a cute little Hufflepuff banner that I'm going to stick on the top right hand corner. Okay, now we're going to get out another Yala stencil. This is the number 10, and we're gonna create a banner. So I'm going to use my yellow, again, super tip Crayola marker, and I'm going to outline the banner first, and then I'm going to color it in. And then we'll use our black super tip Crayola marker to write in the words master to do. Okay, moving on to the next page, we're going to create a kind of month in review page. We're going to use the same stencil number 10, this little flag stencil. I'm going to make 4 sections. The first 2 flags I outlined very badly, but I'm going to keep soldiering on. I'm not a perfectionist, so I can live with it. And so once I create the flags, I'm going to use my super tip Crayola markers. I'm going to use the black one first. And I'm just creating little black and yellow stripes to represent a Hufflepuff flag. I'm trying to touch them up a little bit. I'm not in love with these flags or this page as a whole, but like I said, we're just gonna live with it. So now we're going to write out the titles with the yellow Crayola super tip marker for each of the flag sections of this month in review. The bottom one, for some reason I'm doing first, is for YouTube, and this is where I will write out, the plan is that I will write out my YouTube videos that I will be uploading on my 2 channels. The top one is going to be for shopping, and this is where I'm going to write things that I need to remember that I need to buy. And then the second section is what I'm reading currently. And then the third section is for blog posts. So this is where I will write out the different blog posts that I write for my travel blog and the date that I publish them. I am not in love with the spreads. I have a feeling that when it comes to the next month for August, that I may try to tweak this setup for this particular page. Okay, moving on, I'm going to use another one of those clip art stickers that I made using my foam memo. This is an Alohomora one. we are going to use my Stylist stencil number 10 again. I'm using this one a lot in the spread, and we're going to use the key stencils that are at the top of the number 10 stencil. This is going to be my weekly spread. So I'm just going to do a week on one page, and each of the keys is going to represent a day of the week. There are only 5 days in the first week of June. So we're just going to have the first 4 days and then Saturday and Sunday on one key. And then the right hand side of the page is where I'm going to put my trackers and that sort of thing. So I'm just double checking how many days are in this first week before we get into a full week. So I like to do my weeks Monday through Sunday in my Stalogy, so I am doing my shorter week here, like I said, just those first 5 days, so I can start the following week on Monday. So both sides of this weekly spread are going to be minimalistic and black and white, so we are going to stick to just my black Marvila pen and the black Crayola super tip marker. So I am filling in the dates. Originally I just did 1, 2, 3, and 4, but then I later on go back and white out and fix the 4th to the 4th / the 5th. You'll also see that I also did a Leviosa, not Leviosa, clip art that I also stuck in the bottom right hand corner. Now I'm also going to go back with my Marvila pen and add some little wings to the keys, because these are like the keys from the Sorcerer's Stone. Now for the right hand page where I'm going to do my trackers, my first thing that I try to do is using my little circle maker and my Marvila pen. I'm going to try to create the Quidditch goalposts, but the first time I do it badly. Like I draw my lines too close together. And then when I try to do the circles, they look more like Olympic rings than Quidditch goalposts. So I end up later redrawing it on some just like white copy paper and attaching it, which you'll see in the final flip through. Just because I was like very frustrated with myself, and you'll see my frustration as I like pause when I'm creating my circles. You can see me like thinking, uh-oh, I made a mistake, as I realized that. I also added little grass, below the goalposts as well, just using little lines that I drew with my black Le Pen. Now I'm using another one of my clip arts that I found. The first one is a snitch that I made with a foam memo, and then this cute little Hogwarts Quidditch clip art as well that I'm going to add to the bottom right hand corner as well. All right, now I'm going to use my stencil again, and this time I'm going to use the broom one again. And the broom is going to be what I use for my 2 trackers. So I don't track a lot in my Bujo, but I am going to track my exercise and no sugar. So basically I'm doing an outline of the broom. I am going to fill it in with black using my Crayola super tip marker. And then after I fill it in, I'm just going to write the words no sugar. And then when I do the next broom, I'll just write exercise above it. And then I'm going to use my stencil number 8 and just use these little circles to mark 5 circles, because there's only 5 days in this first week that I am creating here. So we will just use the little circles, and I'll just color in the circles for the days that I don't have sugar. So for this last part, I forgot to hit record, but I'm just showing you what part of the stencil I used to create my meal planning box. And now for the final flip through. I'm really excited to how the Dobby cover page came out and my cute little month at a glance. I'm really excited about this whole spread. The only page that I'm not in love with, as you know, is my month in review page. I definitely want to tweak that and make it better in the next monthly setup. But I think that I've shown you that you don't have to be like an amazing artist to be able to create beautiful bujo spreads. If you love this content today, please make sure to hit like, and I would love for you to subscribe and come join our Savvy Charmed Life family. And I can't wait to see you next time. Okay, bye.